In this video, we are going to take a look into the top and biggest important SEO trends of 2021 according to me, and this is a critical aspect you must know if you are planning to have SEO, search engine optimization, as your one of your major digital marketing plan for your website or business in 2021. Let's go into the video. First, before I go into the presentation and the video and explaining all these strategies, first you need to know that I have also given the link for this presentation. So if you want to download it, share it, or even follow me through using your own link, and I also given all the links and credit all the resources links, so you can check it out through that. If you want that presentation, you can just follow the link which I'm showing in the screen, and also I'll be giving the link on the description. Okay, now let's go into the video. First, a few words about me. I am a co-founder of a digital marketing agency based out of in Sri Lanka, and I have also part of the other digital marketing educations projects such as Digital Marketing Mind, SaaS Pirate, where we help SaaS founders and SaaS buyers to connect, and also a community of almost 3,000 members where we share and help each other with digital entrepreneurs problem solving, all these things. And also I've been in the SEO industry for more than 10 years, watched through all the updates from panda, Google, all the animals in the zoo, and from there to what area I have already seen that and already worked over 100 plus SEO sites and everything. So just wanted to give a bit background about me going forward. Okay, now let's get started. First factor you need to be aware, and it's almost easy to understand, like a DAO moment where Google is still the market leader and it's not going to be going anywhere soon. Just understand that, because Google still holds the most market share when it comes to search market for SEO. So that's why whenever we talk anything about search engine optimization or search, we immediately associate that with Google, because we think, okay, SEO we are going to do for Google because that is the biggest market. But also don't forget that even though Bing and Yahoo, which has Bing has around 2.67 percentage and Yahoo has 1.63 percentage, it is really small compared to Google. But don't ever ignore those search engines, because even that small percentage is a big market share. And in my years of experience, what I have found out was your Bing is really important to focus, because any Windows device you buy or install a Windows 10, or you buy and go out and buy a Surface tablet and everything, they come with pre-built-in browsers, and most of these browsers are using Edge, or if it's an old one, it's an Internet Explorer. And guess what is the default search engine of that browser? Because it's Bing. Every time you buy something and you search, and it will go to Bing, not Google. What happens is, I have found out most of the adult age group demographic such as 40 to 60%, 60 years old, they tend to use Bing because it comes in built in with their browser. They just search it. So don't just ignore that also. And they also do provide a good webmaster console panel, and actually they provide more insights compared to Google webmaster, from my years of experience on when I'm doing that. So just fully focus on Google, but also don't ignore the fact, and try to do some optimization for Bing and Yahoo also. And also there are several other search engines like Baidu, if you want to focus for China, and Yandex if you want to focus for Yandex, Russia. So those local search engines are there, but it differs for the market you are planning to do search engine optimization. And also there are so many new search engines are coming, such as DuckDuckGo, which is a really good search engine for privacy optimized. And also Apple is coming with new search engines, and few more other projects also coming with it. But still it's really early, and still it's not yet as penetrated the market. So we need to keep aware of the new stuff also, but always focus on the major search engines first. The second factor is user experience and search intent is the key. This is a really important metric which normally gets ignored a lot in search engine optimization trends and everything, because in search engine optimization most of the time we get overly focused or invested on quantities, like I need to get the search keyword density about 2.5 percentage. I need to have a words of this much for introduction paragraph. I need to have this much of character. I need to have this many backlinks and everything. So this is a quantity based industry. But what happening in the industry is now it's changing from quantity to quality. It has been progressing throughout the year, but as the year progresses, as the updates are progressing, as the algorithms are progressing, they are tend to moving a lot into quality. So that is why I mentioned that user experience is important, and building a website for people, that is the essential point. It is a true fact when we say that your website need to be fully optimized for SEO in order to get the best on-page boost or benefit, in order to rank on the popular search engines or top place by doing all the search engine aspect of it. It is true that you need to build your website in the focus of SEO optimized, but don't forget the important component that at the final end your website need to be usable for users. So always what I suggest is focus on building your website or web pages with the mind of user. Make sure that their user experience does not get affected. They have the best experience while browsing the websites and everything. Then focus how you can make that design or that style to come have use with SEO. That is the ideal way you should think forward. Have the user experience first, then consider the SEO. And also search intent is important than the search volume. This is another fact which I wanted to emphasize on, because if you just follow some keyword tutorial guides, or normally how I would have done in couple of years back, where I do all the keyword research and I put a minimum search volume, like I want at least a 200 month search volume, 100 words a word, 100 searches a month, all these things, where I tend to focus on the search volume, like 10,000 searches a month, 500 searches a month as an important aspect of my SEO. But that no longer is the case, because search is good, the amount is good, the volume is good, because it serves as a metric to see how important or how popular is the keyword. But always fact that the intent behind the search is really important. What I mean by search intent defines what is the purpose behind that particular search. If I'm going into Google and typing, just say for example headphones, the search intent can be anything. For example, whether you want to look for headphone images, or you might be checking the spellings or a mistake for the headphone keyword, or you might be looking to buy the headphone, or you might be looking to learn more about a particular brand, or how the headphone works, or anything. So you can see, by just using the headphone keyword, my intent is divided all different way. But when we say something like best headphones to buy under $500 in India or in USA, now you can see the search intent is fully focused. You exactly know any person who is going to type in the keyword what he is looking headphone, and what is the price range under $500, and what is the location. So the search intent is laser focused. So that is the important aspect when you are moving forward, because this helps you to not only have you get more visibility in search engines, but let's say for example, for even when you write for a content on headphones and you rank, you want to sell headphones and you are trying to rank for keywords such as headphone or best headphone and trying to rank, and you get 100 visitors, but not 100 visitors will be converting, because you might be selling on a certain logic geolocation area. So but when you rank for a keyword with a focused search engine search intent aspect, then the same amount of visitors will tend to convert a lot more in this style. So always focus on search intent. And also the final fact is do SEO from a logical point rather than the factual, because we see that search is like a, we never don't know what are the correct metrics, what are the important factors. All the factors search things are coming from experience, case studies and everything. Google does not give you their full blueprint saying that you need to have exactly this amount of this in order to get this. All these are coming from practical experiences from industry professionals and experts, and also experience like trial and error and everything. That's the important thing. Search engine optimization specifically is a volatile area. So never try to focus something or do something from a factual or quantitative based stuff. Always try to take a two step back and think from a logical point of view whether what I'm doing is correct, whether what I'm doing for the choosing the keyword is correct for me, even if it does not go along with the principles of SEO. So I have a logical mind behind on every design or every process you do on search engine optimization. Then the next factor is mobile first SEO. This has been one of the biggest and progressive factors and trends, whatever you're going to call in SEO, because mobile market is simply the biggest market compared to even the desktop market. You can see more searches on mobile than the desktop. In one of the studies, I have even given the link, you can check it out for more details. And also if you noticed, even I created a website for one of my client like 1 week ago, and I submitted to the Google Webmaster Panel. What happened was it automatically started to capture the mobile first index. It mentioned that your website is submitted to Google Webmaster and it has been switched to mobile first index, because Google knows the value, the search engines knows the value of mobile based SEO. So that's why they are giving more priority to mobile. So what happens in our digital marketers life, make sure whenever you do SEO, create website, build out any web pages or everything, that all the content, all the media, everything is also optimized for mobiles. It looks good on mobile, it look amazing on mobile, it does not affect the user experience on mobile versus the desktop. If you make sure that these things are correct, then you will experience a bit of boost or benefit from Google, because now they are switching to rank and crawl based on the mobile and not desktop, and compared to now they are doing with mobile ranking, mobile indexing and everything. And also another fact which you might need to know, mobile SEO is really important, critical when it comes to local SEO, because you can see over 76% of people who are searching something tend to visit that particular shop before going searching it, and 20% of them actually buy stuff from that shops and everything. And also local keywords such as near me, top restaurants and more. This is another important thing. All these things near me, you see the static, these are not static keywords like what is the best cat food or something like that. Near me, this top restaurant, these are adaptive searches. It does not give you the same results from wherever you are searching. For example, a person who is searching from, let's say, New York, United States, will get a different set of results compared to someone from Colombo, Sri Lanka. So these are adaptive. So this is very important. Your mobile SEO needs to be on top, because Google will evaluate and make sure that your mobile, it will show the results which is mobile optimized much better than just desktop optimized. The next factor is AI will play a bigger role both for and also for against. This is a critical subject, and also, to be honest, it interesting subject which actually interests me and also bit of scares me, because if we just go back, Google algorithms, all the content generations tools, all these things have not yet that big of a deal couple of years back. Content generation tool just took the words and just inserted words from thesaurus and gave us different inputs and everything. Every tool, every algorithms tend to have AI component, but mostly it used to be like a set of rules, if else statements and everything. But the times are changing, the technology is growing at a rapid level. So what's happening is the AI component is getting bigger and bigger and much more advanced. For example, Google AI, they have Google BERT, Rank Brain, and more. I have given the links for all this. If I want to talk much more depth into specifically onto all these things, it will take a bigger video. But simple fact, they are able to now understand using natural language processing and identify relations between entity, schema, all these things comes into play. For example, let's say you go into Google and type what are the best Tamil songs in 90s. So you enter a keyword search optimization, you enter a search query like that. How does if you just go and type whatever the entry like this into the Google, you won't see pages which are optimized for best 90s songs in Tamil, something like that. You won't see pages like that, but instead you will see actual musical songs which came out of in 90. It will show not the even the song title description even won't have, let's say for example, best 90s title fully optimized or nothing like that. It will keep have the song title, video name, singer, year, and everything. So how these things are able to work on the background, that is where this algorithms like advanced AI, the BERT, rank brain, all this natural language processing comes into play. Google and other algorithms now able to see that and automatically figure out, okay, he's talking about this, so we need to show something, it is related to this particular entity, now we need to show that. So the AI component is keep on evolving. It's not just for this song, that is a idea just came it out. You might search anything and you will automatically see all these things. And also especially Google, what they are doing is, compared to all other search engines, they are keep on integrating new features, new way to enhance the user search experience. So that component also will come on to play. For example, if you go into Google and type what is the cricket score, what is the cricket score, what is the football score, all these things, they will have snippets and everything. So all these things keep on taking more and more of the time and everything. So those things are coming. That is if you are a search engine guy, all these are for against. But for us, more advanced AI also coming under the content department, like Open AI API with content generations tools. So many tools are coming to the market with optimizing these technologies, where it will understand what you are trying to rank and give you ideas on what are the possible stuff to write, how you need to write all these things. So it is a really interesting and also scary tech factor for SEO trends if we consider it. So just I would ask you to keep eye on both for and against to learn more about it. Really interesting. I'll try to do a separate dedicated video for this also. So basically it's like a Terminator, like I'll be back, because it's like human versus robot. So everything AI will be keep on playing a bigger factor when it comes to search engine optimization. The next factor you need to understand, this is a critical point which I see that gets ignored most of the time, because first position is no longer the first position. And also there is something called zero click results, search results. What do I mean? Let's say for example, you are trying to rank for a keyword which has over 2500 searches a month, and you think if I rank in the first position of organic result, then I will at least get over 1500 to 2000 visitors or something like that. You plan out the calculation, everything, but that actually not true, because having a keyword ranked on first position of Google on organic result does not give you the same exposure you assume that you would get simply because you are on the number one position. Because two factors affect that process or something like that. What first is from Google itself, because Google, let's be honest, Google, even though it's a search engine, they earn a lot from Google ads. They want to keep the users on their search results. They want to provide the relevant result information also, but they try to increase their earnings by having the user be on Google as much as possible. That's why they have introduced all these features. Ads, it has been there for years, that is the main source of income, but they also started to introducing featured snippets. You might think, okay, featured snippets, it's good, they're showing our snippet articles, is everything is good. But what happens is, let's say for example in news industry, we have the person sometimes even does not or do not want to read the entire news article. So Google shows these snippets in the news section. The user sees the snippets and I think, okay, that is fine, I know the news, I see the snippet and everything, it's good. And he or she even might not go into the website. Instead, they will see or they will get all the information they need within the snippet itself. So featured snippet, people also ask, you type in a search topic and everything, you immediately look for something and see, okay, I got the results I want. I immediately see the other questions which is being asked around. They keep on going to scroll through the Google to see what are the other questions are getting asked. So they just tend to spend more time on Google search itself. So people also section, and also important thing, all this which I'm mentioning, which will be placed ideally on the first page or on the top positions in the search on Google. So all these things will keep on reducing the exposure or visibility of the number one position. And knowledge panel, which will be showing on the side, right side, is it a left side? I can't remember. It will show it on the side when you search something. It will give loads of information with various properties and everything. From a searcher point of view, it's really good, I have to admit, all these features. But from a digital marketer point of view, where you are looking to gain or visitors to your website through organic search, this tends to be a bit negative. Carousel item, Google Business My Profile, Google Shopping, not only they have their PPC ads and everything, Google Shopping comes into play. Go into Google and type treadmill or best treadmill or something like that. You can also see the snippets where users can shop for the treadmills even without going into that, using Google Shopping and everything. So all these things are coming into play from the Google point of view, what Google does for this. There's another factor also, what I may call it as zero click searches. This is from users. For example, not every search which gets performed on Google have the tendency to go into that particular ranking web pages in order to know the answer, in order to fulfill the searcher's query. What I mean by that, for example, let's say someone types like how to parent 9 months baby, then they might want to know more details, more in depth, then they might go into the article to learn more about it, or if a video is ranking, go into the video, watch it in order to learn. But something like what is the capital of Sri Lanka? What is the currency conversion for United States to Sri Lankan dollars, Sri Lankan rupees? All these queries which I said now, they don't even require the searchers have to go into a website, because Google itself will show the search results answer within the search page itself. For example, if they type what is the capital of Sri Lanka, it will show Colombo in the search results. So the user does not even need to go into the website in order to get the result for a search query. Like what is the area size for Sri Lanka? What is the best movies of 2020? It will show you the list. It will show all these things. So what happens is the zero click search results are a factor where the user even does not need to click on any ranking results in order to get their search query fulfilled. So you just need to be aware of it when you are doing search engine, to make sure and think from a logical point of view. As I mentioned in the previous slide, think that okay, whether what I'm doing is actually logically good when it comes to search engine optimization. So just keep thinking on that also. The next factor is the voice search is the new trend. You guys might have already know this, but search no longer requires visual. If we want to search in traditional way, we open up this browser, does not matter what device, go into browser, open up Google or your favorite search result, type that and press enter. But that is no longer the case, because so many devices are coming out with voice search. Google Assistant is coming, Apple Siri on their devices, Amazon Alexa, which I personally use on Amazon devices. And even if we take a look into automobiles, vehicles and everything, they also have a built-in search and everything with all these things. And these are the biggest one, but there are so many more in the market also. So what does that mean? With the level of all the new technologies which is coming into the market from the voice point of view, you can see there is a study which shows that voice based shopping expected to jump to 40 billion industry in 2022. And also voice search is really big, everyone is trying to use, because fact of the life, we love the simplicities in our life, we love to make our lives easier. So rather than even searching for something, when we use voice search, like Alexa, search for what are the best restaurants in India, or what are the best hotels to stay in Sri Lanka, all these things. So it will keep on, this market is still not fully explored in my view, but I would think that it will keep on increasing, because I see a growth rate on people who are using this voice search. That is a critical point of view. What happens is, in most of the voice search based assistant, when they don't know the answer for something trivial or something, they go out and search for it on whatever that search engines which they are tend to have as default. And when you have a proper voice based setup, not voice based, optimized for voice, it will also get your site or your content more exposure. So some of the things you can do to optimize, like you can have a better schema, you have the better entity, set it up, you identify, you explain all your content really well with all tags and all these things, localization, all this component. But voice search is definitely going to be increasing a lot in coming this year. And also another cool fact before I move into the next one, that 55% of teenagers are using voice search daily basis, and the top 3 common words are using is how, what and best. And you know that best is a really good commercial intent keyword. Whenever you want to sell something, that you always look for something like best. I want to buy a PC, what is the best PC? I want to buy a best headphone, what is the best headphone? I want to look for restaurants, we type best restaurants in this. So best is a commercial intent keyword, and how, it is a really informational keyword. Like I want to learn how to lose weight, I want to how I can build muscle. So these also important queries. So make sure that you have the search component in your SEO, that if you want to focus it, if you want to have search or some important metric plan on your workflow. The next, videos are not going anywhere, guys. We know that from the moment Google bought YouTube, it's settled, guys, because YouTube videos and videos in general, it's not going to anywhere, because video is keep on getting popular, because a recent example, let's say for example, videos tends to get watched bit longer compared to text component. There is no fixed case study, or we can't measure it correctly, but if we take ourselves as examples, when there is 1,000 word articles, the user who are watching, coming to that page, might not read the articles to know what it is. But when we have a video there, and if they click play, the chances are there that they will tend to stick bit more. They will try to scroll through it, they will try to go into different sections and everything, which increases your user engagement and everything. And also another fact for SEO, which the last point was, I was talking from a user experience point of view, but from SEO point of view, YouTube, which is the biggest video platform, is owned by Google. So they are not afraid. They actually want to show YouTube videos within their search. They know that if I show the video there, it will play the video from one of their own properties. They can show the ads via the video. They can increase the popularity within their own properties and everything. That's why you see that so many videos are getting shown on Google search results. They have even a dedicated tab to show only the videos, and even the YouTube itself gets so many inner search also, that going into the YouTube and typing search something. So all these components comes into play. That's why YouTube and videos in general, it's not going to go anywhere. It will keep on gaining more popularity, more views also. And also, you can see that 86% of business say that videos are used as marketing tool. It is really important, because videos give some unique perspective for the audience. Does not matter if it's an explainer video, you are giving a demo, or just using marketing interviews or anything, but it gives you a personal touch. Let's say for example, I write a blog post on trends, SEO trends, which you are watching. I wouldn't expect everyone to understand what I feel, how the emotions are conveyed. But when I talk to you guys in a video such as this, which I'm talking now, I'm explaining the point, but I'm also able to convey a small amount of emotions. I can have a direct contact with you. That is the power of video. So always make sure to have that video component inside your SEO plan also. And also you can see sometimes Google even give priority in certain industry, like recipe and how to in keyword search market. What I mean by that, if you type any keywords relating to how to, like showing you something, you would find so many key YouTube videos are ranking on the Google, because it filled out with lot. And if you type for recipes also, you would see so many videos. These are some of the key market which the video industry is more prioritized compared to even the other keyword industry. These are from my experience, where when I was doing keyword research and everything. The next factor, long length content for the win. This is one of the oldest factor, and it's still a trend you need to be focusing on, because we know that search does not matter how much AI comes into play, does not matter how the quality is going to be increasing and everything. At the core of the element, the content is critical. The text, audio, not text, audio, video, description, captions, all this, the content comes into play, because after all, it's the machine processing. It is not a human based processing, but a machine processing, and it will need some sort of input in order to understand what we are trying to target, who are our target audience, who are the right people to show our content to, how we can differentiate ourselves from competitor. All these the reason where the long length content comes into play. There's something called 8 guidelines, which means expertise in a certain topic, authorityness in that topic area, and trustworthiness. These things, three things are important when you are writing articles. You make sure that you focus all these factors and write any keywords you are trying to rank. It is always will come as an additional benefit from a user experience point of view, and also from a Google ranking point of view, that if you have more content, words and everything, definitely it will come into a bigger play. And also, generally, throughout my experience on SEO, I have seen that average word is count for a ideal content ranks around 1,000, but this is not a clear fact. It changes for the industry, changes according to the competition level, changes according to the your competitors. So all these things changes, but this is the average one. And also, don't sacrifice user experience for content or optimization. This is an important one. For example, it is good to have 1,000 words article, because it will give you search intent, search ranking bit more, because Google have more content to play with to understand what you are trying to rank, all these things. But make sure that your content is written for users, because your final point need to be, it is properly optimized for user. They need to read, even not fully, but they need to scroll through and understand the gist of it. So make sure that it's always optimized for user. Just don't have block of text a second again and again, because it really reduces the user experience when they're trying to search, even especially in a mobile devices and everything. So try to have some kind of fun, or have it bit more easier by shorter sentence, shorter paragraph, have list, bold, italics, all these things. All the HTML elements are there. Try to make it interesting to the user, at the same time optimize for the Google. And next factor is semantic search and schema is the present and future. I already started explaining a bit about this in the previous factors also, but what do I mean by that? All these are the component which comes under the logical component of SEO. It's no longer quantity based. As the AI and algorithms are evolving, we need to logically plan out, or mark out our content and everything, in order to Google to automatically associate, not only Google, all the search engines automatically assign, understand what is our web page is about, what are the relationship, what is this content related to, what are the entities behind it, all these things. So this field will keep on growing in. Just don't think it has too much complexity. For example, schema is something like a coding, let's say, for example, in a logical explanation, when we write content in a blog post and we publish it, the title, the featured image, the body description, paragraph, all these things are for the benefit of user, in order to understand what is the page is about, what are the solution for particular search query and everything. But the schema is the same concept, but we trying to help the search engine crawlers like Google, Bing bot and everything. We use schema to help the crawler to understand much more clearly what is our web page is about. So we use certain schema specific elements like review, recipe, article. There are so much schema element, local, business and everything, and we used to tag and lay out our content to make sure that Google or the other crawlers understand it much better. This is not complex to set it up. For example, if you are using any WordPress site, there are so many plugins, even the free plugins can do it, like SEO Press, which I personally use. I am a premium customer, but SEO Press, all-in-one SEO, used SEO, I'm pretty sure there are a couple more also, but all these things will help you to build out your schema and everything. And at the same time, even if you don't have WordPress, you have just a HTML site, just go into Google and search for something like JSON schema generator, schema markup generator tool or something like that. It will come with several free tools. You go into that, you enter the values according to the way the input is asked, and you press generate. It will generate a piece of code in JSON, and you can just copy paste and paste it on your web page in header component, header tags, and it will automatically optimize for that particular schema and everything. So semantic search, as I mentioned, the relationship entities and schema will play a bigger role currently and also in future. The next factor trend you need to understand that is Google My Business is must for local business. I can't stress the importance of having a Google My Business profile. Does not matter whether you are planning to sell products, does not matter you are planning to sell services, or you don't want customers to coming out to your shops. You just have a remote place and doing the selling process or everything. If your goal is to sell something from you or offer a service from you on a particular geographical location, then always try to get the Google My Business profile also. And especially if you are in United States and Canada like that, also try to get the Bing business profile also. It's not available for all the countries, only selected countries, but try to get both of these profiles, because every business should have this. Google internet I'm always referring to search engine optimization as Google because that is the biggest market share. Search engine optimization differs two ways. For one is called international search. These are search engine optimization way where we optimize internationally for the content. They don't have a dynamic factor like it is only optimized for this particular geographic location. Nothing like that. Something like internationally it will be the same content for everyone who search from, does not matter where they are located on the world. There is another component called local SEO. This is an important part, and Google by My Business will help a lot, because for local SEO the area is really critical. The area, it focus on a particular geolocation. So when you're on a business sides of things, and if you have a really good Google My Business listing, then it will automatically give you more exposure to your business. And also remember that you have a local business website. That means if you have if you have a local business website, that means if you are trying to rank, let's say for example, best restaurant in Colombo. I'm a bit hungry right now. In Colombo, if you have a local website, now your local website will also rank using local SEO, and at the same time your Google business profile will also rank on Google Map Pack. Sometimes you search on something in Google, you would see all the local business are listed on top of the first search position. That is we called as Google Map Pack. Or even you go into Google Maps and search for the businesses. So having a well optimized a Google business listing will help you to rank, get more exposure to your local business. You can do it by optimizing the titles, description, images, having the post, content, reviews, all this in Google business gives you all the details like this within the business profile. And also it is really good from a user experience point, because customers can now know what are the services you are offering, what is the description, how the other customers are feeling about your service using the reviews. If they have any questions, they can ask it. If they want to see the images, they can browse the images, all these things. So always try to have the Google business profile and make sure it is optimized and correct in order to get the maximum benefit out of it. There is also a component like SEO for Google optimization, Google business optimization. I'll try to cover in a later video. And these are and also you can see that where to buy or nearby mobile queries have grown over 200% from 2017 to 2019, and I've given the link for the study, because near me, as I told you, these are dynamic. It will change from location to location. It will give you different set of results for the same search query. If you type top restaurants from Colombo, it will show you the top optimized, not really the top restaurant, but the top optimized Google business or search result restaurant on that particular location. Similarly, that's why it's really important to have a good local SEO optimized website and also a Google business profile also to get an additional exposure benefit. The last factor is that e-commerce and COVID-19 impact. This tends to get ignored a lot because it is not like a recurring factor, recurring trend. This is something new which we even haven't considered this before, but we are experiencing really now. It has changed the way how sorry it has changed the way how we humans live, how the humans study, how the humans eat, how the humans interact with each other, how the humans shop for products and everything. You can see there are so many local businesses who haven't used, who are unable to adapt to the way this COVID has impacted our lives, how we can change these things. Due to that, what happens is the business is in risk of failure, or simply they are not flexible enough to convert into digital aspect of it. But what happens is, even it is a terrible thing which is happening all around to our families, friends and everything, but what it has caused is, it has caused the rise of e-commerce. It has caused the rise of it has caused the rise of e-commerce service industry, like doctor consultation, e-doctor consultation, studies through educated learning, through business meetings where we don't know to go, need to go to physical, everything goes there, e-education. So all these fields are pretty growing because of this. So you can expect more of new competitors, new technologies, new softwares, new education style. Even if you are one of these affected owners, you might use SEO digital aspect of it to get into the market, to have a different flexible environment in order for you to survive and also grow above your normal level. So that will come into play. And also I suggest that more local business, even who haven't considered online digital and everything, they will start to consider this, and more business will come on to the Google business. Even business who didn't have any digital presence will try to move into the digital aspect of it. So you can expect more players also, and digital will always provide a way to recovery for this local business. So this also will be a really important metric you need to understand from Google trending for this. So this year, even we are still not fully out of the woods, so we will see more changes aspect of it when it comes to shopping e-commerce from the or COVID-19 impact. We still don't know what is going to happen, but if you are going to do SEO as a main digital plan for this year, always make sure that how this particular situation which is happening right now in the world is going to affect, or how you need to be dealing with it in order to overcome the technical difficulty, in order to help you to survive, but also use this as a positive platform in order to increase your business, increase your ideas and process and everything much more. So that will be a really key component. So these are the really important ones which I wanted to talk to you about, but there are so much more, like image SEO. I covered videos here. There are so many more components also when it comes to SEO, like but I just covered the important one. These are the critical one which you need to be aware of it if you are planning to have a digital marketing SEO as a digital marketing strategy for your business or your blog or your website. And also something what you can do next is, if you have more questions or anything like that, you can join our Facebook group at Facebook groups at Aston Anthony. You can just go there and you can keep a search for it, and here you can see, let me close it out, and you can see this is our group. You can come there and ask for questions regarding, and I will also share more videos and tips on digital marketing for entrepreneurs, search engine optimization and everything. And also you can join subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I publish a lot of videos on SaaS tools to help business owners to do much better job of helping their getting exposure to your business and everything. And also I will share all this educational kind of topic also in my YouTube channel, so you can subscribe to that. And also I have been planning to do a full advanced SEO training courses, which you can be able to access to digitalmarketingmind.com/courses/SEO, and it's still not started, so you can join our mailing list to get notified. There is no selling involved, there's nothing like that. I will share all the findings which I have found out throughout the years on search engine optimization, in order to take you from absolutely beginner who don't have any SEO idea. I will show you guys how you can learn about it, how you can progress towards it. The reason I'm doing is because the community, which has been an important part of my growth, this is one of the most requested, so I'm doing it as one of the to give something back and also establish myself in the digital marketing industry. So you can join through our Facebook, subscribe to YouTube, or subscribe to our mailing list in order to get more about it. Okay, thank you. Seriously, if you guys watched this long, it's really important because I can't express it even. And if you have more questions or doubt, feel free to ask me in the group, or feel free to reach me out personally through my email ID or Facebook profile, LinkedIn profile, or anything, Twitter or anything like that. If I can help you in some way, if it's possible, and if I'm possible with my time schedule and everything, I will definitely try to help you out, guys, and I will give you my honest opinions and also shares also. Oh, and it almost gone to 1 hour. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was useful, and I'm really looking forward to see you guys in the next SEO set of videos which I've planned for you. Take care until then, and stay safe, guys. Cheers.